I give you my word of honor that I will not step outside this circle until I am done speaking to you tonight. This circle is a symbol of something very important to people who are at all familiar with BYU. One of the first founders of BYU, a man by the name of Carl Mazer, had this to say. Paraphrasing his words, he said, "I have been asked what it means to have your word of honor. I will tell you. Place me behind prison walls ever so thick, ever so high, and ever so deep into the ground, and there is some possibility that I could escape. But stand me on the ground and draw a chalk line around me, and have me give my word of honor that I will not cross it. Can I ever get out of that line? No, never. I would die first." No one is expecting you to die for the honor code. However, we can all agree that there are principles taught in the honor code that are important to having a happy lifestyle. Though there are many parts of it that are inconvenient, it is important for us to follow its guidelines. And I invite everyone here tonight to recommit to follow what is taught by the honor code. Parts of it are very inconvenient. Many nights of fun in a member of the opposite sex's apartment have been dashed by 12 o'clock. Most guys would rather not shave every day. But we can all agree that the things that the honor code teach us are important to us. I know that from living the honor code in my life and my time here at BYU, I have been richly blessed. I have spent the last year helping with the Student Honor Association, which is a group that promotes the honor code and helps people to understand why it is important. My personal responsibility was to meet with different athletic teams around campus and talk to them about their experiences with the honor code when they've been traveling around the country and around the world. I remember a specific experience with the golf team, where a member of that team told me the following story. He said, "We were traveling in a neighboring state for a tournament when a member of another team saw my BYU bag with all the others. None of us were in our jerseys because it was a practice round, but this person said, 'I am going to pick out the BYU player among all these others.'" What was it that that person was looking for? It was most certainly not whether that person stayed in another person's apartment till midnight or whether they were shaving every day, but they were looking for a person who lived an honorable life. A person who talked about that honorable life was Socrates, the Greek philosopher. He said, "A life of honor is one where we commit to live something greater than ourselves, and we uphold our standard to that code of honor." All of us who came here to BYU signed the honor code saying we were willing to live by those standards. And although we may not agree with every detail in the honor code, the fact that we signed our name means more than anything else that we can do. We must ask ourselves what our name means to us. Are we willing to live that honorable life? The story concludes that this young man looked at all the players practicing that day, and at the end of the practice round, went up to a young man and said, "Excuse me, are you from BYU?" The man said, "Yes, I am. How'd you know?" And he said, "Just a guess." The reason he knew that he was from BYU was because he lived an honorable life. It was because that young man was doing the things he needed to promote honor in every aspect of his life. I invite, encourage, and exhort everybody within the sound of my voice to commit to live the principles behind the honor code. Not because it is expected of you by everyone else, but because it is something that you expect of yourself. And that is what it means to have an honorable life.